Welcome back to WWE Reporter, where we bring you the most explosive stories from inside the squared circle. And trust me, what I'm about to reveal will shake the very foundation of everything you thought you knew about WWE's backstage politics. Seth Rollins is gone. Not injured. Not taking time off. Removed. Erased from every single WWE brand by Triple H himself after a backstage confrontation so intense that multiple sources are calling it the biggest power struggle since the Monday Night Wars. And here's what the mainstream wrestling media isn't telling you: this wasn't about one argument. This was the culmination of months of Seth Rollins challenging Triple H's creative vision, openly defying the man who literally rebuilt WWE from the ground up. The visionary versus the game. And only one man could survive. Let me paint you the picture that WWE desperately doesn't want you to see. While everyone was focused on WrestleMania season, behind those pristine WWE production trucks and carefully scripted promos, a war was brewing. Seth Rollins, the man who carried WWE through its darkest days, the architect who revolutionized modern wrestling, was systematically being pushed aside, and he wasn't going to take it quietly. According to multiple sources within WWE's creative team, the breaking point came during a production meeting 2 weeks ago. Triple H presented the roadmap for the next 6 months of programming. Seth Rollins was barely featured. The man who main event WrestleMania multiple times, who held the World Heavyweight Championship with pride and prestige, was being relegated to mid-card feuds with no clear direction. But here's where it gets explosive. Seth didn't just voice his concerns. He stood up in front of the entire creative team and said what everyone was thinking but too terrified to say: "You're turning this company into your personal nostalgia trip, and you're burying everyone who wasn't part of your generation." The room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Triple H's face reportedly turned crimson. This wasn't just criticism, this was a direct challenge to his authority in front of his entire regime. And the game? He doesn't forget. He doesn't forgive. What happened next is where the story becomes absolutely insane. Sources say Triple H stood up, walked around the table, got face to face with Rollins and said 5 words that would end Seth's WWE career as we know it: "Clean out your locker tonight." No discussion. No mediation. No opportunity for Seth to walk it back. Just a cold, calculated termination of one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling. But wait, it gets worse. Triple H didn't just remove Seth from one show. He issued a mandate to remove him from all WWE programming. Raw? Gone. SmackDown? Erased. Please? Not appearing. Seth Rollins' merchandise was pulled from WWE Shop within hours. His matches were edited down in highlight packages. It's like WWE is trying to memory hole one of their top stars in real time. This isn't creative differences, this is a systematic erasure. Now, I know what you're thinking. This has to be a work. This is too perfect for storyline purposes. And that's exactly what WWE is counting on you to think. But here's the evidence that proves this is dangerously real. Seth Rollins has unfollowed every single WWE-affiliated account on social media except his wife, Becky Lynch. His Twitter bio no longer mentions WWE. He deleted a post from 3 days ago that showed him training at the Performance Center. These aren't the actions of a man working an angle, these are the desperate moves of someone who's been completely shut out. Multiple wrestlers have reached out to Seth privately, and the responses have been chilling. One source close to Rollins said he's absolutely destroyed and feels betrayed by the company he gave his body and soul to for over a decade. Remember, this is the man who came back from a career-threatening knee injury ahead of schedule because WWE needed him. This is the performer who worked through injuries that would have sidelined others for months. And this is how Triple H repays that loyalty? By erasing him from existence over one moment of honest criticism? Let's talk about what this really means for the locker room. If Seth Rollins can be removed this quickly and this completely for speaking his mind, what message does that send to every other wrestler? It tells them to shut up, accept whatever creative they're given, and never question the game's vision. It creates an environment of fear instead of collaboration. And that's a dangerous precedent that could fundamentally change WWE's culture. The wrestling world is in absolute chaos right now. AEW fans are flooding social media begging Tony Khan to sign Rollins immediately. New Japan Pro Wrestling has reportedly already reached out through back channels. Impact Wrestling is interested. Even independent promotions are throwing massive offers at Seth's representatives. The man could literally go anywhere and instantly become the top star of any promotion on earth. And maybe that's what Triple H wants to prove, that WWE is bigger than any individual star, even one as talented as Seth Rollins. But here's the million-dollar question nobody's asking: what does this mean for Becky Lynch? She's married to Seth, she's one of the biggest stars in WWE history, and she's navigating her own complex relationship with management. Does she support her husband and risk her own standing? Does she stay silent and preserve her career? This isn't just affecting Seth, this is creating impossible situations for multiple people in that locker room. And let's address the elephant in the room: the hypocrisy of Triple H's position. This is the same man who built his career on challenging authority figures. The same man who formed D-Generation X specifically to rebel against corporate control. The same performer who made his name by breaking the rules and pushing boundaries. And now that he's the authority, he's becoming everything he once rebelled against. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a sledgehammer. Think about Seth's recent promos where he talked about being the revolutionary and wanting to change WWE from the inside. Were those shoots disguised as works? Was Seth trying to tell us something through carefully coded language that creative approved without realizing what he was really saying? Looking back at the last 3 months of Seth's television appearances, there are dozens of moments that now feel like desperate cries for help, subtle jabs at management, references to creative frustration, and looks into the camera that seem to pierce through the fourth wall. The timing of this is absolutely crucial too. We're heading into the summer season, which means SummerSlam, which means one of WWE's biggest shows of the year. Seth Rollins should be in a marquee match. He should be central to the biggest storylines. Instead, he's persona non grata. His name won't be mentioned. His contributions are being minimized. It's like watching someone get erased from history in real time, and it's absolutely disturbing to witness. Here's what really makes my blood boil about this situation: Seth Rollins gave everything to WWE. When Roman Reigns was out, Seth carried the company. When the pandemic hit and they had to perform in empty buildings, Seth delivered incredible performances night after night. When they needed someone to make the World Heavyweight Championship feel legitimate after bringing it back, Seth did that. He's been nothing but a loyal soldier, an incredible performer, and a locker room leader. And this is his reward? The financial implications are staggering too. Seth Rollins is one of WWE's biggest merchandise movers. His action figures fly off shelves. His t-shirts are consistently top sellers. By removing him completely, WWE is leaving millions of dollars on the table. Which tells you just how personal this is for Triple H. He's willing to sacrifice significant revenue just to prove a point. Don't question the game. Sources within WWE are saying the locker room is divided into 3 camps right now. One group supports Triple H and believes Seth crossed a line by publicly challenging him. Another group is furious at how Seth was treated and fears they could be next. And a third group is just keeping their heads down, trying not to get caught in the crossfire. The backstage environment is reportedly toxic, with people walking on eggshells and afraid to voice any opinions about creative direction. What makes this even more complicated is that Seth wasn't wrong in his criticism. Many fans and industry insiders have noted that Triple H's WWE has a tendency to favor wrestlers from his era or wrestlers who fit his specific vision of what a WWE superstar should be. Younger talent often gets overlooked. Independent wrestling darlings sometimes struggle to break through. And established stars like Seth, who have their own ideas about their characters, can find themselves on the outside looking in. The question now becomes, what's next for Seth Rollins? His WWE contract situation is murky. Sources conflict on whether he's still technically under contract but being paid to sit at home, or if this was an actual release. If he's released, he has a standard 90-day non-compete clause, which means we won't see him anywhere else until the summer. But when he does resurface, the wrestling world will be watching. This is the biggest free agent story since Cody Rhodes left AEW for WWE, except in reverse. And here's the part that should terrify Triple H: Seth Rollins is going to tell his story eventually. Whether it's in a podcast, in a shoot interview, in a documentary, or in the ring for another company, Seth will have his platform to explain exactly what happened. And unlike WWE, he won't have a team of lawyers and PR specialists crafting his narrative. It will be raw, honest, and potentially devastating to WWE's reputation. The broader implications for WWE are massive. They're entering a new era with their Netflix deal coming, with expansion into new markets, with record profits and mainstream attention. But if they develop a reputation for silencing dissent and punishing wrestlers who speak their minds, that could seriously damage their ability to attract and retain top talent. Why would a major star from another promotion risk jumping to WWE if they see what happened to Seth Rollins? This situation also raises serious questions about creative control in WWE. Wrestlers are performers, yes, but they're also artists who have spent years developing their characters and understanding what connects with audiences. Shouldn't their voices matter in the creative process? Shouldn't someone like Seth Rollins, who has proven time and time again that he understands the business, have some input into his own storylines? Or is WWE simply a dictatorship where Triple H's word is final and absolute? The fan reaction has been overwhelmingly in support of Seth Rollins. Social media is exploding with hashtags demanding his return. Fans are threatening to cancel their Peacock subscriptions. There's talk of organizing protests at upcoming WWE events. The WWE Universe is making it very clear that they don't support this decision, and they want Seth back. But will Triple H listen? Or is his ego too big to admit he made a mistake? Here's my take, and I'm not holding back. This is one of the biggest mistakes in WWE history. Seth Rollins is a once-in-a-generation talent who should be protected and valued, not discarded because he had the courage to speak truth to power. Triple H is making the same mistakes that Vince McMahon made for decades, surrounding himself with yes-men, punishing honesty, and believing that the company is bigger than any individual. But history has shown us time and time again that wrestling needs its stars. You can't memory hole someone like Seth Rollins and expect fans to just forget about him. The wrestling business is built on relationships, trust, and mutual respect between management and performers. What Triple H did to Seth Rollins shattered all three. And the ripple effects of this decision will be felt for years to come. Mark my words, this is the beginning of a new chapter in professional wrestling, and it might not be the chapter Triple H wants to write. So what do you think? Was Seth Rollins wrong to challenge Triple H in front of the creative team? Or was this a justified expression of frustration from one of WWE's hardest workers? Is Triple H being a strong leader, or is he becoming a tyrant? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you want to see Seth Rollins back in WWE, and subscribe to WWE Reporter for more exclusive breaking news that the mainstream media won't cover. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know because this story needs to be heard. The truth can't be silenced, even if WWE tries to erase it.